Welcome. Today we are exploring gradient descent. Let us dive in, building on our previous talk about how machine learning is fundamentally an optimization problem focused on minimizing loss. Let's dive into the core technique for solving it. Imagine you're blindfolded on a vast, uneven landscape, tasked with finding the absolute lowest point. You can't see the entire terrain, only feel the immediate slope beneath your feet. How would you navigate to the valley floor without falling off a cliff or getting stuck in a small ditch? This challenge mirrors what our machine learning models face when trying to minimize their loss or error. They need a systematic way to descend this complex loss landscape and find the optimal set of parameters. Our blindfolded explorer can only feel the slope right where they stand. If the ground slopes downwards to their right, they should take a step in that direction. If it slopes down to their left, they step left. The key insight is that to move towards a lower point, you always move in the direction opposite to the current slope. This simple rule is the fundamental intuition behind gradient descent. In more complex landscapes, there isn't just one down direction, there are many. The mathematical concept called the gradients tells us the direction of the steepest possible upward slope from our current position. Think of it as the path water would flow up if it were trying to climb the hill. Naturally, to go downhill most efficiently, we simply move in the exact opposite direction of the steepest upward path. This negative gradients points us directly towards the most rapid reduction in loss. Gradient descent isn't one giant leap, it's a series of small, calculated steps. At each step, we reevaluate the local slope, find the steepest downhill path, and take a small step in that direction. The size of these steps is crucial and is controlled by a value we call the learning rate. A very small learning rate means tiny steps, leading to slow but steady progress. However, a large learning rate can cause us to overshoot the minimum, bouncing back and forth, or even diverge entirely. Finding the right learning rate is like choosing how big your strides should be to gracefully navigate the landscape. To make this more concrete, let's visualize a simple cost function or loss function. Imagine our model only has one adjustable parameters, which we can represent on the horizontal axis. The vertical axis shows the loss or error associated with that parameter value. Our goal is to find the parameter value that results in the absolute lowest loss, the bottom of this curve. This simple parabolic shape is a common starting point for understanding optimization. Let's put gradient descent into action on our parabolic loss function. We start at an arbitrary point on the curve, representing an initial guess for our parameter. At each step, we calculate the slope at our current position. Then, we move a small distance in the opposite direction of that slope determined by our learning rate. Notice how the steps become smaller as we get closer to the bottom, because the slope itself is getting flatter. This iterative process guides us directly to the optimal parameter value where the loss is minimized. While the parabola has one clear minimum, real-world loss landscapes can be much more complex. They often have multiple valleys, known as local minima, where the slope becomes zero. If our gradient descent process starts near a local minimum, it might get stuck there, believing it has found the lowest point even if a deeper valley, the global minimum, exists elsewhere. This is a common challenge in machine learning, and choosing a good starting point or using more advanced optimizers can help overcome it. Most machine learning models have not just one, but many parameters, sometimes millions. This means our loss landscape isn't a simple 2D curve, but a multidimensional surface. Visualizing this is tricky, but the core principle remains the same. We still seek the lowest point on this complex surface. Instead of a single slope, we now consider the gradient vector, which points in the direction of steepest descent across all parameters simultaneously. Gradient descent applies the exact same logic, just in a higher dimensional space. To truly see how optimization works, let's look at a 2D contour map of our loss landscape. This top-down view uses concentric circles to represent different elevation levels of error. At any point, we can calculate the gradient vector, which always points in the direction of steepest descent, directly uphill. However, our goal is to minimize loss, so we move in the opposite direction. By repeatedly stepping against the gradient, our iterative process guides us precisely down the contours until we reach the minimum at the very center. As behind the animations lies a simple but powerful mathematical formula. To find our next parameter value, we start with our current weight and subtract a small portion of the gradient. This portion is determined by the learning rate, which acts as a multiplier for our step size. This single line of code is what allows our models to learn from every batch of data, constantly refining their internal parameters, to drive down the total error and reach an optimal solution. The learning rate is the most critical dial we can turn. Set it too low, and your model takes tiny, agonizingly slow steps, potentially taking forever to reach the minimum. Set it too high, and the steps become so large that they overshoot the target, bouncing back and forth, or even diverging entirely. The sweet spot is an optimal learning rate that allows for smooth, efficient progress, ensuring the model reaches the bottom of the lost landscape as quickly and stably as possible. As we descend, the local slope gradually flattens out and our steps become smaller and smaller. This deceleration is a signal that we're nearing our goal. Eventually, the parameters stop changing significantly, and the model's error stabilizes at its absolute lowest point. We call this convergence. At this stage, the algorithm has successfully navigated the landscape and found the optimal state where the model's predictions are as accurate as they can possibly be. The optimization process has reached its logical conclusion. In practice, we often use a compromise called mini-batch gradient descent. Instead of using all data points like batch GD, or just one like Stochastic's GD, we use a small, random group of samples. This balances speed and stability, providing a smoother path than pure stochastic descent while being much faster than full batch processing. It's the standard choice for training deep learning models, offering a highly efficient way to navigate even the most complex error landscapes. Whether you choose batch, SGD, or mini-batch, the ultimate objective is always the same: finding that minimal model error. We've covered the fundamentals of how machines learn to optimize their internal parameters through gradient descent. From understanding the gradient vector as our direction to mastering the learning rate as our step size, and efficiently using data batches. But this is just the beginning. In our next video, we'll explore advanced optimizers like Atom and RMS prop that make this process even smarter. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world of machine learning. Subscribe for more interesting facts.